So there are quite a few signs of stress that most animal owners will miss with their animals. Like if you have a dog, have you noticed if they're pacing a little bit more? Maybe they're a little bit anxious. Maybe they're not laying in their spot as quiet. They don't settle as easy. Your cats overgroom when they get really stressed or anxious, but or hide more. Horses, one of the biggest things that we don't necessarily notice is there like a bit more of a wrinkle or a crease above their eye, say when you catch them or you're doing something with them, or do they seem a little bit more aloof and not wanting to come up to you or be caught? Cattle, like, are you paying attention to their hair coats? Are they shedding their winter hair out while they're going to pasture? Like, how do they look, right? We don't typically tune into these things. We just kind of glaze over them in general. If everything's pretty okay, then we're like, okay, things are good. But the reality is that the body's healing sequence knows when something's out of sync, and it'll set out this like whisper, this little hint that something's not quite right. And then those get louder and louder and louder until you are having big symptoms or even really big health issues. This is the same in humans, but it definitely happens in our animals too. Now, the problem is if we're not paying attention to that or we don't know how to tune into that, then we can miss things before they get to a place where it's harder to look after, treat, or even save an animal, right? And so, AIM actually teaches you how to tune in as a general to really have a good feel for what's happening in your animal in that healing sequence. So, as a whole, in all of their systems, is there part of their body that is whispering, something's not quite right, there's stress here, and I need something to change? When we start to notice those subtle stressors, then we become better animal owners because we can actually help create intervention for them. And sometimes it's simple. Sometimes it's just we need to regulate ourselves. We need to sit for 10 minutes with them and just breathe. And that's all they need. Sometimes they're needing something like food, minerals, and maybe healthcare issues too. So if you're really wanting to tune in and be a better steward for your animal and aim higher for them, it's a time for you to learn the AIM healing method because it actually gets in and gives you the tools to tune in, but it not only that, we also teach you how to rebalance them so that the healing sequence in an animal can do exactly what nature has intended it for it to do, which is heal. The healing sequence is the most powerful, beautiful thing when it is not stressed out. So if we're noticing those subtle signs of stress early, we can get it and return it back to its stress-free operating as soon as possible. So if you want more information, you can comment below or check out our website. It's www.aimhealing.ca.